No longer restricted to gender-defined roles, women are writing their names in gold in the corporate and business world. As former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton once said, "When women hold leadership positions, everyone benefits," end quote. This is because women have an innate ability to multitask and give full attention to their duties to produce desired results. But one critical area where female presence is still lacking in Nigeria is that of politics and governance. The final list of presidential and National Assembly candidates for the 2023 general election released by the Independent National Electoral Commission disclosed a poor representation of the women folk. Of the 18 presidential candidates contesting next year's election, only one is a woman. President Muhammadu Buhari also re-echoed this in his Independence Day speech, where he called for more women participation in politics. With the general election just 5 months away, what should be done to make women's voices heard and register their strengths in numbers? That's the question. But joining us now is the Deputy National Coordinator, South, for Tinubu Support Organization, Ayodele Fatusin. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you. Good morning.
Right. First of all, let's even understand, if women understand the power they wield when it comes to issues bordering on politics and nation building.
Women are becoming very aware of their power now. It didn't used to be that way. We were suppressed, I would say, because we were not encouraged. We were made to believe we didn't have what it took then to be leaders. But we're coming out with a vengeance. Thanks to people like our leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who strongly believes in women's power, in women's empowerment and youth. And from all indications, is promising that 33% of his cabinet, we pray makes it in, will be women and youth. So we're looking forward to that. That'll be a first in the history of Nigeria.
Absolutely.
If you look at the history of the world now, I mean, the world generally, women are becoming more empowered. We have women presidents. We have vice presidents.
We just had one now in Italy. Though a controversial woman, but...
yes.
But very powerful, very strong-willed.
Yes.
And women are tenacious. We get it. You know, whatever you tell us to do or whichever way we need to go, we do whatever we need to do to get there. So we are really looking forward to the new dispensation coming in because we know that we are going to get empowered.
What does it take to really mobilize women? Because women are of different types. You have the educated ones who are the stay-at-home order. You have those who are artisans, those who are market women, and all of that. And it tends to be some work. How do you go about that dynamic?
For this particular campaign, what we're doing is reaching out to women from bottom up. What I mean is that we are liaising with women in the market. We're going from door to door. We are advising them on how powerful they can be, not just as a woman, as, you know, as an individual, but as a mother, as a sister, as a friend, as an auntie. The influence they will have on their children, the influence they will have on their husbands. The government has done a lot in empowering women in the past. You can look at the Empower, the government did a lot of program for women empowerment. And you can see that in the market. Then you move to the level of the middle class, whereby you have the professionals or the young graduates or the young mothers, okay? Up to the level of executives now. If you look at even the banking sector, you're going to see we have a lot of women MDs that didn't used to be. So we're getting up there. Look at Mrs. Okonjo-Iweala. Look at Orelope. God bless her soul. Look at Mrs. The lady that just died, Mrs. Kemi Nelson. Very powerful icon. When you see women like that, you are encouraged. You have the passion. You want to do more. You want to grow to be like them. So we have the awareness. We're encouraging women to come out, vote, come out and see where they are strongly independent of their men and do the needful to pronounce themselves as not a weaker gender, but as a woman, as an individual that is capable of doing anything she can do. Basically, we are just promoting women to come out. Mrs. Tinubu and Mrs. Shetima are doing a wonderful job of going from state to state right now, encouraging women to come out. And if you look at their PCC, they are mostly, I believe it's about 99% women. And they are coming, you will see the difference. You will see the power of women when the campaign starts proper with these two ladies.
Perhaps you should paint a picture of what we would see, because there are those who have said that women will not be able to drive as much as possible. Yes, you know, what perhaps they're expecting to see to drive the campaigns. We know men oftentimes are the ones that, you know, are put forward with regards to this, but you're telling us now that we're going to see a different dimension to the campaigns where women are taking the lead, so to speak, and, you know, right on the backs of women who are perhaps in the markets and all of that. Let's paint us a picture of what we should expect and the programs in place on how to reach out to these women, encouraging them to come out and be part of the process.
It's not the rallies or mega rallies as usual. This particular campaign is unique, it's different. This particular campaign is telling people to go out or to start their success or to start their campaign from the individual homes. We are doing grassroots, we are doing word to word, unit to unit, up to the level of the local government. We are doing door-to-door campaign. We are encouraging our neighbors, so to say, to come out. Mama Neka, Mama Dele, Mama whatever. Come out. Don't be intimidated. Once you finish breakfast in the morning, talk to your neighbor. What do you see that is wrong? And these particular leaders we have in the women's sector, you have access to them. The network is done in such a way that you can get information to Mrs. Remi Tinubu that there's area where we have women issues, or maybe they are handicapped, or they are not allowed to do what they are supposed to do. She will do something about it. The campaign is that strong, and we're looking forward to a better future in this particular government for women.
Some people say that this campaign is particularly fraught because they believe that this campaign is very ethnically driven. How do you navigate the obstacles around tribe and faith in this campaign?
Thank you. Ethnically driven. If you look at the history of Nigeria, sir, nothing against any ethnic place within the country. The Northerners are super in regards to campaign and voting. A man could have 10 wives and have 50 children. All the children that are above voting ages or at voting ages, they will be driven by their parents to go out en masse and vote. Southwest, we are more of pessimists. We want to be sure who we are voting for, why we are voting, what is coming out. I'm not saying the North doesn't ask the questions, But once they believe in a cause, once they believe what you're doing is for the betterment of the country, they will vote for you, or they will come to you, they will ask questions. That's what I've noticed about that region. In the South, we are more of pessimists. We want to know. We are full of questions, which is good. And it's more difficult to sell a candidate to the Southwest.
Southwest or Southwest?
Southwest.
Okay.
Southeast is more amiable. But the problem we have now is the IPOB, sit at home, threats to lives and all that. So it's difficult to campaign now in the Southeast because you don't know what to expect. But generally, South. Lovely. They are good. They believe in the cause. If you are doing the right thing, they will ask questions, they will come around. They are more or less like the Northerners too. It's only the Southwest that are pessimistic, and Southeast that we have unrest of somewhat that the government needs to work on. And we need to encourage people to come out to vote in those zones, because they are not coming out is going to affect them adversely in the long run.
Very, very important one there. And there's also the aspect, he mentioned the aspect of religion. Perhaps you have touched on that, how it will play in this campaign that you're talking about. And there's also the aspect of tradition, where a man is seen to be the head of the home, and he has a say. And he might decide that his wife is not coming out. I wonder how that is going to play in all of this.
We're seeing that a lot nowadays. Look at Zakoji, the actor. The wife came out and said, listen, you are for Tinubu and for Obi. Very clearly. We have a lot of that. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. Everybody is entitled to their beliefs. I have a friend that I'm campaigning with. His wife didn't believe in Tinubu initially. But today, she's looking at the husband saying, okay, you believe in Tinubu, let me see what Tinubu can do for the country.
Perhaps some will say these ones are the educated ones that are coming out. But when you look at the market women, whom you say you're targeting at this point, some of them do not have a say. A majority of them do not have a say in their homes.
Don't underestimate woman power. You're a woman, you know what I'm talking about. She will coerce her husband, she will talk to the children, she will motivate the children, she will prove to the children beyond reasonable doubt that this candidate is the person to go for. I do it in my house. I do it with the people I know. If I can do it, I believe the market woman can do it. We have a lot of strong-willed market women. Please don't underestimate them.
I am not.
They might not be super educated, but they are extremely intelligent. They're extremely manipulative. They are very good at being mothers and sisters and aunties, like I said when I started. Don't underestimate the power of a woman. I believe our women has a lot and a big role to play in this campaign. And I know for a fact that they will be equally, they will not be marginalized. They'll be compensated for their effort, because women are now going to be very vocal, not just vocal, but they're going to be out there. They're going to be given positions. Even as market women, you're going to have the women leaders that will be leading the people. Like I said, it's not about education. There are so many ways we can empower them. And we will do it, and we are doing it already.
How do you reach the housewives? Because the housewives are a sizable number of the electorate. How do you really reach them? Because they're usually at home taking care of the children, and you don't really see them in organizations as such. So how do you really reach them and make them part of the whole momentum?
Housewives go to churches, they go to mosque.
They're bringing the
INEC
religion
has said,
part of it now.
INEC
Well-
has said we cannot campaign in religious centers. Though.
No. Oh, yeah.
Right.
INEC has said that. But they can, outside of the church, outside of the religious
premises.
circle, not necessarily the premises.
Okay.
They can advise themselves on where to meet. It could be at the market square. It could be at the village square. It could be anywhere. Those that are interested, we meet and then we converse.
Is
Like
that what
I
is
said-
going on now?
It's part of what is going on, campaigning from door to door. Calling each other, going to each other's neighbors and explaining, hey, Mrs. Fatusin came to my door yesterday. Oh. She mentioned about this candidate. What do you think? Have you seen the news? Are you reading anything about it? Did your son come home and say anything going on outside? And the news spreads, you know. They talk. At the market, they talk. Their children takes information to them. So it's not about a religion, but they do talk. They are very powerful. They are very strong, and they are strong-willed.
And then when you do your women sensitization,
Yes, sir.
it cannot be just women, because in the course of it, you also encounter men. How do you handle this? Because you can get to a home, do door to door. You want to go and see the woman, you can see
And
the
the
man
husband.
there. And you can see a son, you can see a brother, or you can see an uncle in the house. And so how do you navigate it? You become a campaigner for
The whole family.
the whole, exactly.
That is why I said we have canvassers. They have to go in there, and if they see the situation, they will now campaign based on what they find on ground.
But what I see is that you guys are campaigning for women. You must have certain agenda when you are trying to campaign, because yours is to mobilize women, and you are supposed to have in your kitty ideas that the campaign has for women. But when you encounter a house, first of all, what are the things you tell the women that the campaign is and will benefit them, especially as women? And how do you now navigate that when you see them with men?
So one of the major problems in Nigeria right now is food. We have security issues. We have food issues. We have infrastructure, so many issues, education, medical. There are so many angles to go about it. If you go to Makoko, for example, in Ebotemeta, most of the women there are market women selling fish, selling seafood. You want to talk to these women about health, how to take care of themselves. We have children that are having children at 13, actually married at 13. You have to look at this.
Makoko?
At
Yes.
Makoko market, yes, sir. The way we are going about it, we look at the
We have
environment.
children mothers.
Yes, sir. Lots. Not educated. Mothers at 13. By the time they are 20, they've had 5 kids. Now, when you go to environments like that, there are so many ways you can campaign. You want to educate them. You want to tell them they shouldn't have children, or mothers shouldn't encourage their children, or mothers shouldn't marry their children off. You want to talk to them about their health, the impact these things is having, whatever they're doing is having on their lives. The impact having so many children is doing to their body as a woman. So we're looking at education, we're looking at food, we're looking at health. If you bring those 3 things to Makoko alone, they will listen to you, sir.
Right.
So it depends on the area. It depends on where you are. That is how we converse. And then we encourage them any way we can. We have a lot of civil societies. We have a lot of professional bodies that are working with us that wants to help some people that are really needy, like the Makoko group that I brought up. We will now introduce them to these people, and they will now interact and make a better life for them, provided they come.
I'm glad you mentioned the Makoko matter, because I've been there on several occasions and I've seen what you rightly mentioned. But then again, there's the aspect of trust. They have said that people have come to campaign, make promises, and at the end of the day, they get what they want and they are left high and dry. So how are you dealing with this matter of trust, such that people will take this matter, especially the group you mentioned, these Makoko people? They said they have seen all sorts of persons come, but nothing is done. And that is why the situation is still as it is.
The situation is not as bad as it used to be. Bola Ahmed Tinubu changed Makoko for life. And I pray it's getting better. I've been there recently, and they're telling me that despite the fact that so many groups have been there, so many people have promised them a lot, they might not do a lot for them, but the government is pulling their weight. They are trying. They're changing the face of that area. Makoko is not the way it used to be 10 years ago. We're just using Makoko as a yardstick.
I understand.
And that cuts across.
Yes.
We have a man that when he promises to do anything, I don't care if it kills him, he will go back and do it. We have a man that is passionate about this country. We have a man that loves women as a gender. He wants women to be empowered because he believes with a woman in place, there's passion, there's a face, there's no, you are not walking over anybody or any issue. It's an issue-based person. He's very detailed, and he's got the compassion for the country. He will do anything to make this country and the economy vital, vital. And is known worldwide to keep to his own words, to do what he promised to do. We are following him. We're not following him blindly, but we know his capability. So all these promises we're making, I can assure you, within 6 months of his coming on board, we are going to see changes.
We still have our guest in the studio, the Deputy National Coordinator South for Tinubu Support Organization, Ayodele Fatusin, is speaking to us about the campaigns, especially with a focus to women, and how this will, at the end of the day, galvanize women for the party, and also ensure that looking at nation building with regards to women, the role women play, basically. And before we went on the break, we were talking about the matter of trust, how the party intends to win the trust of persons. We're looking at Makoko, for instance, who have complained about people coming there, and they say that they are left high and dry when, despite the promises they have made. And you have talked about the party's flag bearer being someone who they can trust at the end of the day to deliver on his promises. But beyond the fact that they can trust him, there are much more that the person of your candidate, you'd like to talk to us about on the person of your candidate. And perhaps that would also give some other persons, women, who might want to convince their husbands as to see the reasons why you should perhaps vote this person and do whatever is necessary as it stands. Talk to us from that point of view, what more people should know, but besides the fact that he can be trusted, what more should people know who are watching now?
Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to me, is an enigma. First of all, the man is somebody that doesn't forget, like I said earlier on, any promise is made. He's got the capacity, he's capable of managing the country. He's done it. Everybody keeps talking about Lagos State, but that's a major one. He did it in Lagos State. And Lagos State is it's one of the biggest cities in the world today. It's number 5, the busiest state in the world. If one man can actually achieve that, why won't we give him a chance? to manage Nigeria as a whole, because Nigeria has a lot of issues. And the man has the capability to fix a lot of the problems on hand. We're looking at, you're talking about trust issues. If you look at what is done in Lagos State, that should transcend to federal. We're looking at somebody that is so passionate about his country. He has gone through so much in regards to being ousted, in regards to being in hostile environment, in regards to forsaking his own dreams for years and years. He's just now coming out to say, listen, everything that has been going on in the country is just not good enough because of the, because people have been suppressed. Let me come out and see what I can do to alleviate some of these pains, to alleviate some of these problems. There is no excuse for the Naira to be 735 or 750. With Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it will change within a couple of months. I can tell you that much.
Really?
Yes, really. You can hold me to it when the time comes.
Okay.
He will do it.
So how do you really navigate those people who say, well, Ashwaju is also APC, and APC is the one bringing all of this problem. So what do you tell them when they ask you questions like that, you know,
He was the one that brought, you know, this
that
person on board.
government was the one that orchestrated the existence of this party?
The bringing in of the current government is not his making alone. It was a decision that the party made. Yes, he spearheaded it. Yes, he came out and said, yes, I'm the one standing for him. He will do the job. I will not say the government of today didn't try. I will not say that, sir. If you look at what is going on now, changes are already coming. All the promises the president made is finally coming to fruition now.
As he's about to wrap up.
Banditry has gone down a little.
Yes.
As he's about to wrap up his tenure.
It's coming to play.
As they say, all is well that ends well.
All is well. I don't know about that, but it's fine. But things are getting better, and it will even get better as the new government comes in. You don't know what you can do until you get challenged, until you see the problem. And Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sat back for years to see what the problem is. He has a lot of issue-based problems lined up already. He has people he's going to put in place. And even when he was governor, if you notice the way he does his thing, he works with youth, he works with women, and he brings in different ethnic groups to manage Lagos State, for that matter. So that kind of person that has grown, he has the experience, and he has achieved so much in regards to making Lagos State successful. He has, I don't know how to explain myself. We have the likes of the Vice President, Dele Alake, and so many professionals that he has groomed. We are going to do the same on federal level.
All right. All right. There's so much to say, but we have to leave the conversation here now.
Okay.
Because of time. We must thank you, Deputy National Coordinator South for Tinubu Support Organization, Ayodele Fatusin. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.